This week, a 61-year-old blonde bombshell from the 1980s was seen out and about in Los Angeles, looking vivacious. She made her acting debut opposite Charles Bronson and then acted with some of the most iconic figures of the time, including Jane Fonda and Patrick Swayze. She has made appearances as a guest on popular television programs in her more recent career, including Will and Grace, ER, 24, and Gilmore Girls. She was seen this week with her husband of almost 30 years and one of their grandchildren on a laid-back outing. Friends with adult children, there is nothing in this world like a grandkid falling asleep in your arms. You have so much to look forward to, she said on Instagram last year, gushing about her present stage of life. Who do you think she is? She is Kathleen Wilhoite, who made her breakthrough in the 1968 crime thriller Murphy's Law as a sour-mouthed jailbird opposite Charles Bronson. She has been married to David Hart since 1997, and the two were together when she was spotted this week in Los Angeles. The long-standing couple has two grandkids through their son James and his wife, and Kathleen frequently shares images of the kids on Instagram with pride. On their most recent excursion, they brought their cherished granddaughter along, and Kathleen was shown tenderly cradling the young child in her arms. As a child, Kathleen, who was born in Santa Barbara, fell in love with acting. She remembers feeling pitifully ugly at first, but she eventually found her passion in school shows. In an interview with the fan website RetroJunk, she clarified, "I was a clown. I liked to make people laugh, even at my own expense. In general, I had a lot of laughs. I'm sure I was a grotesque prima donna when it came to the theater. I know this because I'm told this at all of my reunions now." Her first motion picture appearance was in the cult favorite Private School, 1983, which starred Phoebe Cates and Matthew Modine as two teenagers trying to finish their romance. Murphy's Law, 1986, starring Charles Bronson as an alcoholic investigator who is set up for murder by a woman he once imprisoned, was her big break. He gets arrested with Kathleen, a thief, and the two characters escape together, becoming unlikely allies in the process. "Fantastic," and "everything you'd imagine," she recalled later. Charles Bronson was smart, funny, tight-lipped, and a really good actor. I stayed out of his way and never got too familiar with him, but he was kind to me and we joked around a lot. I felt like I deserved this healthy respect. She starred in another thriller that year, The Morning After, which was directed by Sidney Lumet, the director of 12 Angry Men, and starred Jeff Bridges and Jane Fonda. Another of her favorite films, the action comedy Roadhouse, 1989, had Patrick Swayze as James Dalton, a New York bar bouncer who ends up working in a small-town nightclub in Missouri. Despite his best efforts to hide his horrific past, he's forced to face the vicious and corrupt underbelly of his new haunt. Amidst the cast that included Broadway great Ben Gazzara, Sam Elliott, and Kelly Lynch, Kathleen played a somewhat gawky bartender at the club. The movie's enduring appeal to viewers, according to Kathleen a few years ago, was Patrick, Sam, and all the good old-fashioned redneck A-word kicking. "I love it, the mysterious millionaire philosopher, but what he's really passionate about is being a bouncer." She continued, "It's a theme the men in my life will never tire of." In the 1990s, her career took off, including the heartwarming film Lorenzo's Oil, which starred Nick Nolte and Susan Sarandon at the height of their fame. A number of iconic TV shows, including Gilmore Girls, ER, Family Guy, 24, Twin Peaks, Mad About You, Will and Grace, and Law and Order Special Victims Unit, featured Kathleen as a guest. She is currently working on a number of projects, including a Hulu miniseries starring Patricia Arquette and Jason Clarke, which will focus on the Alex Murdaugh murder case.